Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world beyond your physical senses, right? A place where consciousness continues,
Huh?
where you meet guides who are surprisingly familiar, and where death itself isn't, well, isn't an end. More like a transition.
The doorway, maybe?
Exactly. That's precisely the incredible sort of mind-expanding territory we're diving into today.
Yeah.
Our deep dive really starts with Robert Monroe, a truly fascinating figure.
Oh, absolutely.
His spontaneous out-of-body experiences, OBEs, called them,
Mm-hmm.
they kicked off in the late 1950s. And that really ignited this lifelong journey of exploration and, well, pretty groundbreaking research.
What's truly remarkable about Monroe, I think, is that he wasn't looking for this stuff.
Hmm.
Not at all.
No spiritual quest initially.
Nope. These experiences quite literally found him. When they first started, back in 1958, he said it was without any apparent cause. He definitely wasn't trying meditation or anything like that.
So just out of the blue.
Pretty much. And his initial reaction, pure terror. He thought maybe a mental breakdown or some kind of serious illness.
Like a brain tumor.
Yeah, he genuinely feared it was some form of severe hallucination caused by something dangerous, a brain tumor, a stroke, or impending mental illness or imminent death. That's a direct quote.
Wow.
It really highlights, how challenging it is to face something completely outside our normal understanding. This wasn't some spiritual journey at first. It was just a desperate search for answers. Very human.
Right. A deeply unsettling personal thing he needed to figure out. And so our mission today is really to follow Monroe's own documented journey. He kept meticulous notes.
Incredibly detailed.
And we want to pull out the insights he gained about consciousness, the afterlife,
Yeah.
what it all means for, well, our sense of self and purpose.
And it's all drawn directly from his firsthand accounts. This isn't just theory.
Not abstract at all.
Mm.
It's based on his personal, verifiable, and honestly deeply transformative experiences. Experiences that ended up changing thousands of lives later on. So these initial encounters, they were totally involuntary and scary.
Oh, absolute terrifying for him. Starting in 58, he'd find himself, floating, often just a few feet above his physical body.
Usually when he was resting.
Yeah, lying down to rest or sleep. And he described having full conscious awareness, which, as he put it, only made it worse.
I can imagine. Knowing what's happening, but having no control.
Exactly. He talked about the panic of struggling through the air and back into my physical body, just completely bizarre and uncontrollable.
So his first move was doctors, psychiatrists.
Naturally. He went through extensive exams. His doctor actually reassured him, said there was no brain tumor or physiological factor involved, but offered no explanation.
Helpful.
Right. And psychologist friends, psychiatrists he knew, they couldn't help either. Confirmed he wasn't psychotic, but suggested things like indeterminate years of study under a guru in India.
Which must have sounded totally alien to him.
Completely. He was a pragmatic Western businessman, not his world at all, but this was happening several times a week. It forced him to confront something totally unknown.
That initial fear, though, it's understandable. It taps into that basic human fear of the unknown, maybe even death itself.
Definitely. But what's interesting is his approach. Because he had this scientific Western mindset, he didn't just retreat. He started systematically documenting everything.
Like lab notes for the non-physical?
Kind of, yeah. He meticulously recorded around 40 carefully validated OBE trips. He turned that sheer terror into, a driving scientific curiosity.
That systematic approach seems key.
It's crucial, and it allowed him to really differentiate an OBE from just a dream. He explained that in an OBE, the individual is near totally conscious, as our civilization defines the state.
Meaning you feel awake, aware.
Totally. You have replicated senses. You can see, hear, even touch, though smell and taste were weaker, he found. And crucially, you could often verify things later. Check if what you saw actually happened.
Which you can't really do with a dream.
Exactly. Dreams are usually hazy, uncontrollable, often nonsensical. They lack that objective, verifiable quality. OBEs felt real, testable.
So, okay, this intense personal crisis.
Yeah.
What grew out of it?
Something pretty groundbreaking, actually. Monroe mentioned how he set up a research and development division right within his own company, initially just to solve his own personal and urgent problems.
But it grew.
It blossomed into what's now the Monroe Institute, founded specifically to research and understand these phenomena, to take these fear-producing unknowns and make them, well, knowns for other people too.
And one of his big discoveries was this second body idea.
Yeah, that's a core concept. It's not some ghostly mist. It's you, your consciousness.
That's right.
He described it as incredibly fluid, like an intelligence that could instantly take any form or travel anywhere just by thinking it, but fundamentally you remain you.
So it's plastic, changeable, but still me.
Exactly. Extremely plastic, he said, but you remain you. This non-physical self, the second body, is no longer bounded by time-space. There's this huge sense of freedom.
Total liberation.
Almost. He also observed, you are like a balloon or a kite on a tether. There's an invisible cord connecting you back to your physical body. So liberation, yes, but still connected.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Still grounded somewhere. Now, as he got deeper into this, he met this inspect friend, a guide.
That's right. A non-physical guide he encountered during his OBEs. And these weren't just casual chats. He described them as structured learning procedures, like tests.
Tests? How so?
While he was out of body, a specific experience would be repeated several times until a particular response was evoked in me. If he got the right response, the lesson learned, the experience was not repeated thereafter.
So like targeted lessons in the non-physical.
Exactly. He lived them totally, felt them completely, even if intellectually he knew it was not real in the physical sense.
Okay, but here's the really mind-bending part I read. This guide.
Yeah.
It turned out to be him, like a future version.
Uh-huh. That's what he eventually realized. He recalled asking, who knows you best of all? And the answer came back. Me. I was talking with myself.
Wow. Okay, that raises some serious questions.
Doesn't it? Like, if the guide is himself, what does that even mean for our idea of self or linear time?
Right, past, present, future, all mixed up.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, this inward journey led him to discover what he called the I there.
The I there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine this. All-powerful, all-knowing giant consciousness. And his physical self, Robert Monroe, the man. Just a tiny part of it, like a finger sent out on an independent, self-willed exploration.
A finger exploring reality for the bigger hand.
Kind of. Exploring its own larger being. We're like probes sent out by this vast intelligence to gather unique experiences.
And inside this I there.
He found a memory layer, like a massive hard drive, a file, library, or mainframe containing every moment of my life to date, including past lives. Total recall.
Sounds amazing. But maybe overwhelming.
It wasn't always pleasant, he said. He became painfully and sadly aware of the many irrational decisions made, the stupid mistakes, the missed opportunities. Hindsight is 20/20, especially supermemory hindsight, I guess.
Oof.
And this huge consciousness, the I there, also had what he called an XCOM.
XCOM. Like the game.
No, more like an executive committee or board of advisors. This collective intelligence within the I there actively manages things, emotions, even orchestrating help signals.
Help signals. Like what?
Like echoes of physical pain, maybe, to get Monroe's attention, to prompt his curiosity, push his exploration, especially if he wasn't looking inward enough.
Okay, that's a staggering claim. If XCOM is orchestrating things, how much free will do we really have? That could challenge a lot of people's views.
It's a huge question.
And then there's that revelation from XCOM itself, the one that really flips the script on why we're even here.
You mean the part about deciding to be human?
Exactly. We made the decision to become human again. We selected the time and place and organized the DNA mix, elements from the physical and elements from us.
Yeah, but that suggests this whole human existence thing is designed, purposeful, not just random.
Far beyond what we normally think.
Yeah.
It implies Earth life isn't an accident. It's a specific kind of learning system.
A polarized environment, he called it. Designed for comparison. Hot, cold, strong, weak, love, hate,
Contrast helps us learn.
Apparently. And it helps develop unique human capacities. Especially, he mentioned, the evolving left brain. This whole human journey, challenges and all, is seen as incredibly valuable to the I there.
Okay, so building on all this personal stuff about his own multidimensional self, he then tried to apply it to something universal, like death.
Right. Which led to programs like Lifeline at the Monroe Institute.
Lifeline. What was the goal there?
It's designed specifically to prepare people for physical death. The idea is to make those post-physical states known before you get there. Not just beliefs, but familiar territory.
To take the fear out of it.
Exactly. Release the fear around dying by making it familiar. Understanding the process, the different states of consciousness before the transition happens.
And his mapping of the afterlife. These focus levels, that's like a roadmap, right?
It really is. His extensive explorations allowed him to map it out pretty meticulously. For instance, Focus 22. That's where humans, still physically alive, have only partial consciousness.
Like delirium, coma.
Exactly. Or under anesthesia. Then you get to Focus 23. This one's really important. It's where recently deceased people often end up, but they're confused.
Confused how?
They might not realize they've died. Or they can't let go of their Earth-life attachments, their old routines, their worries.
He gave examples, right?
Yeah, vivid ones, like a young warrior still trying to get back into the fight after his body was dead on the battlefield. Or a man who described being in the hospital frustrated, saying he just yanked them all out the tubes and suddenly found himself floating, going right through the ceiling. That's when he realized.
Wow, a place of disorientation.
Big disorientation. Yeah.
That sounds like a really critical point in the journey then.
Yeah.
What happens after Focus 23, assuming you navigate that confusion?
Well, beyond that, you have Focus 24 through 26. Monroe called these the belief system territories.
Belief systems.
Yeah.
Like heaven and hell.
Pretty much. People congregate based on what they expected after death. Their strongest beliefs literally create their perceived reality there. If you expected pearly gates, you might find something like it.
You manifest your own afterlife initially.
In a way, yes. Then there's Focus 27, that's the reception center, sometimes called the park.
That's nicer.
It's designed to be. He described it as an artificial synthesis created by human minds, like a familiar way station to ease the shock of transition. It can look like various Earth environments, forests, beaches, cities.
You created it.
Apparently, a human civilization many thousands of years ago. It's a kind of shared comfort zone before moving on.
And finally, Focus 28.
Focus 28 is different. It's beyond time-space as we know it, even beyond human thought patterns. He considered it a point of no return to a physical human body, a threshold to a whole other kind of existence.
Okay, so Focus 23 is this confusing place, and the belief systems can be traps. What about these retrievers you mentioned? That sounds crucial.
It really is. Retrievers, and this includes people trained in programs like Lifeline, and Monroe himself, their role is to help those who are, well, lost, stuck in Focus 23, or trapped in their own belief systems.
Like afterlife guides or rescuers.
Kind of, yeah. And it's incredibly vital work. XCOM told Monroe something pretty stark about this.
Oh.
We lose about 9 out of every 10 that way. They forget about us here completely.
9 out of 10. Just stuck.
That's what they said. It really underscores how important retrieval is. Literally helping conscious selves find their way forward.
Any examples of retrievals?
There was one participant who reported finding a young woman who died in childbirth. She absolutely wouldn't leave Focus 23 until she had found her baby.
Wow, that human connection. It persists.
The power of that intention, even beyond the physical, seems immense.
That is quite a revelation. The idea that so many might not make it past that initial confusion. For Monroe and people who follow this path, actually experiencing these states, it changes everything.
Absolutely. It replaces mere belief with undeniable knowing. Abstract ideas become concrete understanding. You know you survive physical death because you've touched those states.
Okay, let's zoom out again. The bigger picture. The purpose of all this, this human life.
As we touched on, it seems to be fundamentally about learning, about the collection of unique experiences.
Experiences that have value elsewhere.
Immense value there beyond time-space, as Monroe put it. And he suggested the evolution of our left brain, our logical side, and integrating it with the right hemisphere. That's key for consciousness reaching peak performance.
But there was that other concept, maybe more unsettling, Loosh.
Ah, yes, Loosh. Emotional energy generated by humans and apparently collected.
Collected? By who? Or what?
By some other intelligences, according to Monroe.
Okay, for some people, the idea of our emotions being collected might sound a bit disturbing, or raise questions about free will again.
It's definitely provocative. Monroe described meeting an entity he called Hay, like an ancient organizer or facilitator.
And his job was?
Specializing in the collection of this 1 in a million product, which is human experience and emotion.
Did Monroe see this as good, bad?
He seemed to present it more as just part of the system. Hay apparently referred to Loosh as a food for the gods, a type of vibrational energy or sustenance.
Food for the gods. Wow.
Yeah, it's a concept that really makes you question our place in the cosmic order, you know? What's the true value of our feelings or struggles beyond just us?
Okay, connecting this bigger picture, Monroe's ultimate quest seemed to be understanding where all this leads. Where does the collective I there go next?
Exactly. He described these I there clusters like a bus or spaceship filled with a small universe. And he wanted to know about their final journey, a liftoff beyond our current understanding.
And he had his own personal struggle with going home, right?
Right.
Like 1895.
He did. KT-95 was some prior existence he remembered, but he saw it as a kind of evolutionary dead end, a loop.
Repetitive. Stagnant.
Yeah, he said, if you listen long enough, everything repeated itself. There is no excitement, nothing new. Realizing that his path wasn't about going back, but about new learning, pushing forward. That was pivotal for him.
So it's about accumulating wisdom here, not retreating to the past.
Precisely. And this means the gifts we gather here, all the experiences, the knowledge, the emotional depth learned on Earth, they aren't just for us as individuals.
They contribute to the whole.
They become part of that collective consciousness, the I there, and they accompany the conscious self on that ultimate unknown journey. Our individual lives, our deep dives into being human, they feed into something immeasurably vast.
So bringing it back, what does this all mean for you, the listener? Monroe often reflected on this, didn't he?
He did. He talked about the impact of simply knowing. The knowledge that you are indeed more than your physical body, that you do indeed survive physical death.
Converting unknowns to knowns.
Right. These two unknowns converted to known with no conditions or contingencies. What a difference that would make.
It's a massive shift, isn't it? From just believing or hoping to a deeply felt knowing.
But knowing that your life, your experiences right now have immense lasting value. You're not just living. You're participating in something huge and purposeful.
A vast experiment, perhaps.
So this deep dive into Robert Monroe's incredible journey, it really took us from that initial fear, that shock of spontaneous OBEs.
All the way to systematically mapping these non-physical realms.
Yeah.
Encountering guides like the Inspec, understanding the I there.
Right, and exploring the actual purpose of Earth life as this intense learning system, the whole path of death and transition.
And looking towards that ultimate collective journey of consciousness that might await us all.
Monroe's approach, so meticulous, so empirical, even with this stuff, it created this compelling framework. It really challenges our basic assumptions, doesn't it? About life, death, who we are. Absolutely. His work highlights that the human experience, all of it, the good and the bad, isn't just valuable, it's intrinsically linked to something much larger, an evolving consciousness. It really asks us to consider the incredible potential, the purpose behind simply being human.
This whole exploration into Robert Monroe's insights, it's a powerful reminder, I think, that there's always more to learn, always more to experience, and maybe, just maybe, a deeper, grander purpose to our lives here than we ever imagined. So here's something to leave you with. Final thought to consider. If your current life is a kind of carefully designed learning procedure, maybe like those tests Monroe had with his Inspec, what response is life asking you to evoke within yourself right now? What ultimate lesson are you working to master?